Say good morning.
Good morning.
We about to do your hair. We about to do your hair, girl. You and Minnie Mouse. Okay, good morning, guys. It is, I don't even know if you can see me like that. It is Friday morning, Good Friday. And I'm going to put some stuff on the hubby and I are off of work today. And so I'm already preparing for Easter Sunday. I'm about to do Gracie's hair, and a couple of people on Instagram asked me to do a tutorial of this hairstyle. This is the cornrow ponytails, and so I wanted to, while I had a chance today, I wanted to do that. So generally, and this is not freshly washed hair, this is 2-week-old hair. I usually wash her hair once a month, and so I'll let her wear a style for 2 weeks, and then I'll do a new style and let her wear that for 2 weeks, and then I wash it. So it's still pretty clean. Her hair doesn't get super dirty. And so usually after I wash it, I will section it in the sections that I'm going to use for her hairstyle. So when I started to do this hairstyle, I sectioned it with the 2 ponytails on top and the one in the back, and I let it dry that way, stretched. It stretches the hair. And I'll let her wear that like overnight, let it dry, and then that makes it easier for me to braid her hair up the next day. So let's get started.
Mommy.
Okay, see, you want too many things while you're sitting down. Now here. Alright, turn this way. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is detangle her hair. Okay, so I'm about to detangle her hair, and these are the 3 products that I'm going to use. I'm going to use the shower comb first, and then I'm going to use this knockoff Denman brush, and then I'm going to go in with the small tooth comb to detangle thoroughly. And this is just some Tresemme Naturals moisturizing conditioner, and I always use this as like a leave-in, even though it's a washout conditioner, but it makes her hair really soft and easy to work with. So I'm gonna finger detangle first. That's what I'm doing right here. And when you let it dry stretched like this, it makes it so much easier to detangle the next day. Okay, so I'm going in first with just the shower comb. Then I'm going to go in with the Denman. That. And then once I feel like that's all the way pretty detangled, I'm going to go in with the bigger side of the comb. And then, even after that, I'm going to go in with the smaller side, just to get it as thoroughly detangled as possible. And it's really important, I've found, to do this because it just makes the hairs for your cornrows a lot more separated. So you can get much smaller cornrows, and it's easier to do because the hair is fully detangled. Alright, and so I've already created my sections for this hairstyle, and this is the same style that she had last week, for the past 2 weeks, but I'm redoing this for Easter. I bought her some gold beads. These are going to match her Easter dress, so I'm just going to refresh this style. And so you need one of these combs here with this little pick at the end. Oh, you can't even see it. With this little pick, this is amazing for parting, and so this is what I use. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do, and also you're going to need some of these clips. I use these to kind of push hair out of the way and hold hair out of the way from the different sections. So the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to go straight down the middle. You're going to make a part, because all you're going to do is make these into equal sections. So that's pretty straight for me. It's pretty decent. And so what I'm going to do is just clip this first section out of the way. And then I'm going to go straight across this and do like a hamburger instead of a hot dog. I'm going to do a hamburger part here, straight across, just like this. And so I'm going to divide each of these into quarters, and ultimately what I will have is 16 sections. So each of these quarters, and I'll make 2 on this side, will have 4 sections apiece. So I usually will take this one now, clip it out of the way, and I'm going to do this one in the middle of it, just like that. Try to get it as close to the middle as possible, where you have your 2 triangles here. And then I keep clipping as I go, because one of the things that I've learned is to make your job a lot easier, you have to have enough space to work. And so then I'm going to take this piece here and half it again. And then these 2 sections will be cornrow sections. And so this is going to get clipped down, and this is going to get clipped down. And then I'm also going to half this big triangle as well. And that's not straight, but alright. So just like that. So now you have your quarter section. And I'm actually going to tweak this a little bit. I like the parts to be as centered as possible, meaning they all kind of meet in the center of the back of her head. So I try to make this V as deep as possible and get it closest to the center as possible. And so that seems a little bit better for me. So these are going to be clipped out of the way. And then I'm just going to go and repeat this process on the other 3 quarters of this piece. Okay, and so what I've done is I have parted out the 16 sections. So I started out going down and then across, and then I took each quarter and separated it into 4 sections. And so now I'm going to begin braiding. I take a little bit of this jam and I put it at the base of the cornrow. That helps to just kind of keep it neat, in my experience. What might make it easier for you if you're still new to cornrowing is to part off, and I don't know how well you can see this, a very thin section at the top of the braid, like this. And this is how I start my braid. So the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to take that section and you're going to braid under. And this is a very teeny section. But what I do is do about 4 or 5 stitches of like a regular braid. And I don't know how well you can see that. But so you're going to start with your braid. And you're just going to do a few stitches before you start grabbing hair and adding it into the cornrow. And as I'm going, I'm going to kind of be looking and making sure the braid is turning out the way that I want it to. You're going to be, or pulling your fingers through the hair every pass to keep it detangled all the way down the braid. And so once you get to that inside portion and you're at the end of the hair, then you're just going to continue under braiding. Just like that. And so I'm going to try to zoom it in so you can really see the braid, okay? And so that's what you want. Now, this took me a lot of practice to get to this point. I've been doing Gracie's hair for almost a year now. Once her hair got kind of long enough, if any of y'all remember from my Instagram, I used to post pictures when I first started cornrow on her hair, when she didn't hardly have any hair in the back. All of this was pretty much bald when I first started this whole section. But I just stayed consistent, and I've been braiding her hair very consistently for the past year, and her hair has really grown, and it all evened out eventually. I was nervous about it for a long time, but it all eventually evened out. So I'm taking my top section once again, and you're going to split that into 3 sections here. And I don't know how you can't hardly see the 3 sections, but that's what I've done. And then you're going to just braid. You're going to do 4 or 5 stitches. Then you're going to go start cornrowing down. Okay, so this is the first section. This is the first quarter, and so I've braided them all the way down to the ends, and then just twirl the ends around my fingers, and that's what you get. And then I'll come back when this back section is fully completed. Okay, so I finished the back. Gracie's not cooperating with me, but I finished all of the back. And so this is what it looks like. To do these underneath, I stand up and she stays sitting down, and I just braid up. And so these will be put into a ponytail, and then I'll move on to the top 2 sections. Now the top 2, I have the same number of braids as I have in this back section. So it's 16 braids in all back here, and each section in the top will also have 16 braids. So I will go in a straight line hot dog, and then a straight line hamburger, and then diagonally, and then those diagonal pieces will be broken into halves to get a quarter, to get 4 pieces in each quarter, in each quadrant, I guess that's what you can call it. And so that's what I'm going to do to the top. Okay, so at this point, this side is done and the back is done, and I'm almost done with this top part. Gracie is asleep at this point, and I just have one more quadrant to go, and so I wanted to show that to you guys really quickly.
What the wanna top top topping? 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 What the wanna top? 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 What the top? Hold up. Top topping, 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 top topping. What the wanna top top topping? 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 What the wanna top? 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 What the top? Hold up. Top topping, 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 top topping. What the wanna What the wanna top top topping? 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 What the wanna top? 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 What the top? Hold up. Top.
One of the most important steps that I've found that helps me to get the cleanest looking cornrows is this step. Is combing it with a small tooth comb right before you cornrow, because what it does is it separates the hair into these each individual strand, which allows you to grab smaller amounts of hair as you move backwards into the cornrow, and that allows you to have a neater braid. The smaller the sections that you have, I've found for styles like this, the better the braids look. They look just neater and cleaner and almost like perfection. I like my braids to look like flawless, and so I found that that's the best way to get them that way, is to have those 2 or 3 strands that you grab as you move backwards in small sections like this. That's going to give you that flawless looking cornrow. Okay, so this is as good as it's going to get right now because she's asleep. But this is the back section and these are the front 2 sections. And what I'm going to do to try and make this as short as possible of a process for her is today will just be the braids, and then tomorrow I will add in the beads. And so it's taken us 3 hours, and the last time I did this it took about 3 hours. I did it on a TGIT night, and I think I watched an entire episode of Underground, an entire episode of Grey's Anatomy, and an entire episode of Scandal before I was done. And so this style is time consuming, but to me it's worth it because of the fact that it lasts such a long time. When you do the braids this small, I can literally let her wear her hair this way for 2 full weeks without ever refreshing it. I mean, it just lasts a long time. Whereas normally I do her hairstyle, it takes me an hour and a half. I have to refresh it every week. So each week, on Saturday, I'll take the beads down, refresh the braids that have gotten fuzzy and that kind of thing. This hairstyle keeps for much longer. So I kind of prefer to take the time out initially and do the style, and then I have 2 weeks of rest, and I don't have to bother with it anymore. And so that's what we have. It is exhausting for her, it's exhausting for me, but it's so worth it. I get so many compliments on her hair all the time, and I just feel like it's a sense of pride to have her walking around with her hair looking cute, and she loves it. She loves to get in the mirror and admire her hair, and she loves to say, yeah, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. I hope that this helps. I know it's not the most comprehensive cornrow tutorial ever, but really what's going to help you get better is time. I'm going to show kind of like a reel of like a progression of where we started with her cornrows and where we are now. And really what's made me better is time, is repetition, doing this often. That's what's made me better. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you love the style. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace. You ready to look in the mirror?
Yeah.
Mirror. Here you go. Look. Oh, that's beautiful. You look so beautiful, my Grace. Grace, you're beautiful. You see it? Isn't it pretty? It's pretty.
Beautiful.
You're beautiful.
I'm beautiful. Yeah.
Huh, baby?
Up.
You want me to get you?
Choo-choo.
Okay, I love you.
Mm.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.